Hey guys, working on a 2010 GMC 3500 HD today. I actually just bought this truck to use for pulling trailers and stuff and buying junk and stuff. And I bought it from a kind of a shady dealer. I was told it had a salvage title. It's Duramax. Ran and drove pretty good. Got a noisy pinion bearings, but figured I could take care of that. I was basically told that it was salvaged because of what the salesman described as some damage to the rear tailgate here, which could be somewhat believable based on, the incredible high prices that it costs to replace a box side at a body shop these days on a 14-year-old truck. But anyway, drove good. I took it home and drove it a few times and it was fine. Went to drive it one day, got engine power reduced error and a P0 or P2122 code, accelerator pedal position error. I think it's low voltage. So I did some digging and there was a key fob on the set of keys from a diesel repair shop like 4 hours away, and the guy's name was written on it, the customer. So I found him on the internet, called him. He's like, yeah, that's my truck. He said, did you fix it? And I said, I didn't do anything. I was told it had body damage and that's why it was salvaged and went through the auction. He's like, no, I blew the left front tire and it shredded the wiring harness. And he said it took it to a diesel repair shop. They gave an estimate to the insurance company saying it needs a harness. So the repair shop is sitting on it. The insurance locates a new harness, evidently the last one in the nation. There was only one remaining in inventory, and they waited and waited, and it got sold. So then they asked the customer, are you okay with us repairing the harness? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay with you repairing the harness, but since I live in an environment where it's basically, chloride and salt on the roads in the upper Midwest in the wintertime, he said, I want you to leave the claim open, because if I have trouble with the wiring, I want the claim left open so you can repair it. They should have put a new harness in it, but it didn't happen. So then insurance comes back and says, we'll send it to the auction for salvage, we'll pay you off. So then he tells me the harness got shredded, all this stuff that I didn't know when I bought it. And so the car dealer I got it from did this. We're talking about PCM wiring that, runs on the whatever CAN bus data lines and things. Critical stuff. And they've got these things in here which are not waterproof, not acceptable, as well as we got several wires labeled and not connected and just shoved in there. And I'm not sure what the function of these wires is, but the PCM is right here. And this is pretty much your main harness that comes out of the cab. So it's kind of weird. It's too bad GM doesn't have like a metal wheel well in here, so that when you do blow a tire and those flaps of tires spin around, you could really benefit from having a metal wheel well, but it's nothing but a piece of plastic, which there was a new one in there. Guy did put a new one in, so, and I noticed that when I bought it, but I didn't know why it was in there. So yeah, I can't drive it anymore until I get it fixed. So I'm gonna go through and splice all the wires back together using solder. I'll solder the connections and use shrink wrap with adhesive lining in it, and that will make a waterproof connection, because I'm in southern Minnesota and they pretty much use salt and calcium chloride on the roads to knock the ice back down in the winter time, and that winter is longer than summer around here. So I'm going to have to do something to prevent this from happening again. I'm hoping that's going to get rid of the error code and get me back on the road. If not, there's some other procedures I can follow through the GM service manual to test reasons for that code coming up, but I assume it's hopefully in this rat's nest here. So anyway, I'm going to get to work on repairing all these wires. Well, I got several wires done, but I'm left with these three mostly blue colored wires. This one's a little darker, and this one was already connected. So being a similar color, I'm a little leery of just connecting them. I'm gonna have to, I'm not sure I trust whatever tape numbers these people put on here. There's a reason he didn't get them connected. I'm assuming he wasn't sure. And I've got two brown with white tracers. So, time to get the wiring diagram out, do some pinouts, and double check what's getting connected here. I've got one here that's scraped right down near the connector, so I'm going to have to get the proper pin and the Delphi crimp tool, shorten this wire up with the proper connector, which I don't have right now. This one's already turning green and corroded, so that's really the only way to fix that properly. But got quite a few done, but it's still quite a mess. I can't believe they're corroded already. I guess it must have probably sat somewhere in the yard or insurance yard or something, and the guy said the accident happened just before Thanksgiving of 23, so yeah, it sat around. It got bought on auction March 24th of 24. So little corrosion started, but anyway, we'll get back to finishing up these connections. Some of these colors vary a bit as well as the insulation thickness, so I think there must have been a connector where I'm making most of these connections. There must have been a connector of some sort, because some of the colors are a little different. Like, it's a little different blue, a little different thickness of the insulation, so I'm thinking maybe a whole connector got ripped out, but I don't know. So do some pinouts, confirm where these go, and finish up, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, I've got as many wires as I can get connected through process of elimination. I've got 4 blue wires left and 2 tan and white, or brown and white. I got this blue wire that doesn't go to anything on the other side, so not too worried about that one, but do need to figure out which one is which. I'm going to try and ring out the harness through the ECM, just by doing a tone beep. This was 3. I think I had this one figured out. And I just use a pin, since the connectors are so small. This is the bottom PCM connector. I think I already had this one identified. Yeah, that was 50 ECM pin 56 on this. I guess I don't know if they call this a 58 pin connector. The top one is 96, which is quite a bit bigger. This one says 58 right there. And then these are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which are larger, higher amperage wires. So we got 56. And through looking in wiring diagrams, 56 is an accessory wake-up BCM to the ECM data line. So that should be, this one I determined to be accessory wake-up because from the BCM it has 12 volts. When the key is on, turn the key off, it still has 12 volts. Open the door, the 12 volts goes away. So otherwise it kept 12 volts on. I didn't wait for the timer to time out on the radio and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that's what that one is. And this guy had that marked as 2, so that wasn't gonna work. So I'll mark it 56, and we'll see if that changes here. I don't have all of these identified either, so I'm not sure. I went through a wiring diagram trying to find out which ones are which, like all the dark blue ones. And there's a bunch of them. But I figured out this one of 4 dark blues is wait to start by it had 12 volts with a key on. I grounded it, and the wait to start light, glow plug light, turned on. So if I can find that in the computer, that would get me another wire identified, and that should be ECM pin 16. I don't know if that's the big connector or what. So this is just such a mess. Like I said before, I don't know if this all came into a connector, but I don't find that connector identified anywhere. I found some blue wires were spliced at the factory 5 centimeters from the harness connector, it says, but I don't know. Okay, so there's 19. Starts at 7, goes to 19, I think it says. I don't know if that could be 16 then. Let's make sure we got tone. Should be 19, 17, 16. Oh, it must be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. That's that one. That was lucky. That's our weight to start. That's ECM 16. Weight. Hope I can read that tomorrow. Alright, so this one, coming from inside the cab, I determined was accelerator pedal position. It had a varying voltage from 0.9 volts to 3.5 or something like that. When I had my daughter press on the pedal, it was connected and the truck kind of drove, so I don't know if it does go with this one. I'll probably leave it there momentarily. I gotta get, I'm not sure. Okay, that should go to ECM pin 49. Should be easy enough to find. I'm assuming that's all in that lower connector. Alright, so that's our wire going up to the ECM. I just left the connector on there. Okay, so 58. I don't know what that says. 46, 45. Okay. That's 49, 48, 47, 46. So that says 46 right there. Barely read that. Okay, so that is pin 49. So they did have that connected to the right spot. Yeah, they had that in the right spot, so that was good. I guess it probably wouldn't even have driven without it, maybe. Any varying voltages in the accelerator pedal position give engine reduced power, because they are assuming there's something wrong with pedal circuitry. That's ECM 49, APP 1. I'll just reconnect those two together without this junky connector. And all the wires are kind of getting corrosion started, so I gotta scrape them and clean them really good before I solder. Alright, so that leaves this blue wire. Don't really know where it goes, but I'm assuming it went to this connector and doesn't go anywhere anyway, but be interesting to see where it winds up at the PCM, ECM, if it winds up there at all. Hopefully, it'd just be nice to identify it, even though it appears to be unused. It might even go to the upper connector. It might go into the engine harness, TCM, I don't know. Feels like not all these actually have a connector in there either. Some of them feel empty. Nothing so far. It may not even terminate here. But I think 3 out of 4 narrows it down. These are big up here. I don't think we're in there. Well, I could go, I don't know, dark blues in the lighting circuit too, but it's possible. It does go forward. It might go in the lighting circuit that's not there. I can probably check this 96 pin connector. I'll check we still got tone. Yeah, I had codes for malfunction indicator lamp, open circuit, and that light doesn't work. Also, the wait to start light was not working. And I think we know why, because they didn't even have the wire hooked up. I think he probably just got it sort of running enough to sell it to a sucker like me. That's going into the release. That's empty. That's empty. That is one that looks empty. Oh, there it is. What on earth is that? 1 through 26. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. I have not looked on the wire diagram to see what that is. I'll make a note. Pin 4 of 96 pin connector. Well, not too worried about that, but last ones, these 2. Okay, I better identify that. Pin 4 of 96. Assume that goes to this mysterious wire that doesn't go anywhere anyway. Now I need to ring out locate these 2, I don't know if these are brown and white or tan and white, but they're kind of a mystery. They're also a little corroded too already. Okay. And we'll just try this 58 pin. Had a lot of luck with that before. 50. Seven. Alright, so we're at that one with 7. Hard to see these numbers anymore. So we had 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we got a 10 and white, pin 30 of 58. $30 of 58. I'll have to dig through the wiring diagram. Just kind of blindly look for it at the ECM connections. Right, so we got one more. I don't even know if it goes into there, but it could very well go somewhere else. Kind of would make sense that it wouldn't go back. I don't know why it would go back to the ECM. I don't know why you'd bring a jumper out and go right back again, but I guess the only way I know how to do this is through process of elimination. Huh. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. It's 20, right? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's weird. In 26 of 58. It's either paralleling with an existing wire, or it is just that wire going back right back in again. But all right, I'll do some digging through the wiring diagram and figure out where all these go, and we'll get back to it. All right, back on working with this. I got pretty much all the wires spliced, and I was down to these last two brown and white wires, and I knew that one of those has something to do with the service engine soon light on the dash. So we've got the light on the dash, in the instrument panel. You can see with those two little arrows coming out, it's an LED, it's not a bulb, so that's good. So it's powered with the key on, and the ECM, the computer, grounds it to turn it on. Pin 30, and we found that one was pin 30 of 58 on the 58 pin connector. Brown and white. There's a connection at X109. I don't think that's the computer connector, because that half circle is the female end of the connector, the black line is the male end, and the computer has male pins, so it doesn't seem right. So anyway, there might have been a connector that got completely ripped out in amongst all this stuff. I'm not sure, or destroyed, and they just got rid of it. So they had spliced a brown with white in in this mess was already spliced when I got it, so I just re-spliced where it was. But if you follow it down, it goes down to this connector and it goes in, and it doesn't come out and do anything. It's just not used. So I went in there with a pin, sewing pin, turned the key on, and I suddenly had like 11 volts there, and grounded it, and the service engine soon light came on. So I'm going to take that wire here and I'm going to move it over to my pin 30, and then this pin 26 of 58 must have went here, and it's not used because it's not in the diesel engine wiring diagram. I haven't checked the gas engine one, but it might be used in that or some truck with more accessories or something. So I'll make that connection, and then we'll go for a test drive. All right, I want to make a conclusion video for this truck project. It's been, I don't know, 6-7 months since I finished it. There's other problems with it, but basically the wiring issues got corrected with what I did, the splicing, soldering. It started right up. I didn't have any codes, any issues, so I did change some wheels out on it, so it looks a little... I had another truck I was selling anyway and had those wheels, and they were new tires, so I don't know if they really fit real well on here, but they seemed to work, and it was better than blowing $1,000 on tires. But yeah, basically it worked out pretty well, and I guess, you know, how upset can I be? I mean, if I had purchased this truck, it failed on the second day. I think it was I think I had it 1 or 2 days, and I was going to run down to my buddy's place and show it to him, and I think I got about a mile down the road and I got engine power reduced and it died. And well, it didn't die, but you know, you couldn't get enough power to go 30 miles an hour. So I mean, I had the know-how to fix it. If I didn't and I just bought it, that would be really tough, because you'd be up against thousands of dollars in labor, you know, trying to fix that. So I think overall it worked out all right. It just took me a few hours to fix it, and it's hasn't failed. But I'll tell you, I drove by that car dealer in that little town some couple months later or something, and like the whole lot was empty. The place looked abandoned. I don't know what his deal is, but I think I don't know, he had some bad reviews online too. Like somebody bought a car from him and left a really bad review on Google, I think. It's like, he wasn't honest about what he sold me, you know, this thing, whatever. So I don't know, I probably put 10,000 miles on this truck now since I got it. Actually made a lot of trips to different states, picking up, you know, more projects. As you can see, I got a lot of projects around here, so it just never ends. But it's fun to go buy stuff and fix it and drag it home and bring it back to life. And it's nice to not have to clock in anywhere. So anyway, just wanted to let everybody know the repair worked great, no problems. And other than that, with the truck, the only issue I've had actually gelled up on me a few days ago when I was going to get this dozer project. That was kind of weird. So never had a truck gel up on me, but could have been the fuel I bought. But other than that, yeah, the front end is pretty wore out on it now. It's got over 300,000. I don't know if anybody's ever done ball joints. All the ball joints are loose. It was like that probably when I got it, but I just kind of figured that with the mileage. no problem. 800, nothing that $875 in parts from Rock Auto can't fix, I guess, and a day's worth of time, I'm sure, and then an alignment. So still better than $1,000 or more in tires every 20,000 miles or whatever. So yeah, it's been a good truck. So I just want to ask everybody to like and subscribe or comment. Let me know what you like about the videos or what I should change or improve on or whatever you like. So all right, have a good one.